What's going on, guys? We're still here talking about Darksiders 2 because we cannot get enough Darksiders 2. And I'm here with Joe Mad. How you doing today?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I am excellent. Thank you so much for asking. So you are kind of the driving force behind the visuals to Darksiders 2. And let's talk about Death because, you know, he's a very unique looking character. He does seem to share some similarities with his brother War. Like if somebody put them side by side, I might think, yeah, those guys could be related. But he's definitely got his own thing going on.
Yeah, I mean they're all part of a race called the Nephilim, which you'll learn a lot more about in this game. And you know, we knew War's archetype is more of like a tank, you know, and so Death, even though he is a lot more agile and built to be a little more nimble and deadly, a lot less armor, lighter weapons, stuff like that, we did want them to look like they were from the same, you know, world.
Yeah.
So they have a lot of the like super intricate armor detail and whatever. Death just wears a lot less of it.
Nice. Now, are they like actual brothers? Like, did they get raised by the same mom and dad?
Kind of, sort of, in a way. I mean, you will learn a lot more about that in this game. I mean, they're not, they don't procreate like humans do per se, but they are from the same gene pool, I guess.
So it's more of like a metaphysical brotherhood?
Yeah, yes. One of their brothers is female, actually. Fury. So, you know,
that brings up a whole slew of questions that we probably shouldn't get into here.
Let's not get into that right now.
Well, when you were designing Death, like what were like the key features you wanted to focus on?
Visually?
Yeah, visually.
Well, we knew, you know, people have expectations of what Death is. Some people think of him as the Grim Reaper or whatever. And we didn't want. I felt right away like if he had a face, like people would kind of like be turned off, or like, you know, everyone has their own expectation of what it is, and I think having like keeping the skull face or like a mask and just keeping that hidden instantly sort of like adds this like air of mystery to the character, and it just felt right. So we like, that was one of the things early on, like the first drawing I ever did of him had a mask and he kept it like the whole way through. And then after that, you know, the gameplay drives a lot of it. Like I said, he is a lot quicker. So we knew he'd be scrambling up walls and running across beams and all kinds of acrobatics. So obviously wearing heavy armor would be awful.
Yeah,
for that kind of stuff. So it just kind of like pushed us down this path of like, okay, he's more of like a lightly armored assassin, and you know, like War does the heavy stuff. So it just kind of, you know, just whatever looks cool and fits within that, like, you know,
that kind of world or environment.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Speaking of worlds and environments, now the first Darksiders, for a post-apocalyptic game, very lush, vibrant atmosphere in a lot of the areas that you would encounter. This time around, you're going to a different place, and it seems like there's a lot more variety to the environments you're going to encounter.
Yeah, there's a ton of variety. In the first game, we were sort of limited to the story taking place on Earth for most of the game, and once we told that part of the story, we were happy to, in the sequel, sort of be able to focus on other aspects of the Darksiders universe. You know, there's some entire worlds that we had wanted to like show in the first game that we didn't even get to scratch the surface of. So, you know, you'll see like angel realms, demon realms. There's like the realm of the dead, which is really cool. You know, the underworld in our fiction is sort of composed of like multiple worlds within worlds.
What do you think like is the biggest lesson you learned making Darksiders 1? Because that was kind of like your entry into the realm of game making, as far as like, you know, developing this like new IP goes. Mm-hmm. And like, what are you learning as you're working on the second game?
What am I learning? You know, it's hard. It's a lot harder than people might think when they're, you know, going to school and saying, I want to work in video games. Like, you know, everyone that finds out I work in games pretty much has a son or nephew or cousin that also wants to work in games. And you know, not to rain on their parade, but it is like actually a lot of hard work, you know? So, and it's just like keeping up with the challenges of like evolving technology and just like, you know, game design in general is like so much stuff sounds good on paper and then it's hard to execute or, you know, not fun when you do. And it's just like constantly evolving. Everyone has different philosophies for how to make games. And I just think, you know, at Vigil, we sort of have our way of doing things. And I don't know, like I can't imagine doing it any other way. Because we approach everything from the standpoint of like gamers and like making the kind of game that we want to play kind of thing.
So it's kind of like you're the dude sitting at home on his couch, and you want the end result of your game to be the kind of thing that you would play if you were that dude.
Exactly. Thank you for making sense of, yeah.
That's my job. That's what I do. Yeah. Do you got anything else going on now, man? Because, you know, any comic book stuff coming up, anything like that, or are you just mostly focusing on games now?
I'm, you know, trying to do the balancing act of managing both of those things. I do have some stuff coming up for Marvel that will probably be announced in the next few months. I did a short run on Avenging Spider-Man, and I can't really talk about anything else, you know.
Well, we won't put the pressure on you today, not today. But Joe, thank you so much for taking the time to talk with us. When's Darksiders 2 going to be launching?
It'll be out June 26th.
June 26th. We'll keep an eye out for it.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. Thank you.